much everyone for joining. So today's session will be in English. So again, we are not only Kazakhstani but Central Asian platform. So we choose the English language as a scientific language to hold our webinars. So first of all, thank you everyone for joining today. I will appreciate if you could just write in the chat where you're joining from, and also you just write your name, write your country, and maybe university. So yeah, thank you very much. Today, Kazakh International Science and Technology Association. My name is Almjan. I'm your host today, joining from Berlin, Germany. I'm a medical doctor. So today, we're pleased to welcome you to September edition of Guest of Honor TechTalk series. This is a monthly event that bring together special guest speakers who have successful transition from academia to industry or launched their own tech startups around the world. So here, they share their personal stories, lessons learned, and real-world strategy to navigate the career shift. And it's very important for our community. So today, I'm very happy to welcome our old friend, Ainur Imangaliyeva, Dr. Ainur Imangaliyeva. She's a chemist with PhD in chemical engineering, uh, specializing in catalysis, nanomaterial, and organic chemistry. I will later introduce Ainur properly again. So before we start, if you already know about our association, just go grab your tea or coffee, and I will take a couple minutes of introducing our association. So we are Kazakh International Science and Technology Association, a global professional community uniting not only Kazakhstani but Eurasian scientists, working from 2014. As you can see, we have more than 200 members, PhD, postdoc professors, and industry experts, starting this job from 2014. We have very dynamic and welcoming community from 30 plus countries. And as you can see, here's a distribution map of our association. So this is a global membership distribution. And as you can see, yeah, it's very broad. So starting from Canada and ending with New Zealand, we have our Kazakhstani scientists working there. And as you can see here, we have 42 established professors that we in the connection with them. So last month we had this amazing meeting with all professors. As you can see, this is all Kazakhstani professors that, due to different reasons, immigrated in 2090s maybe. And here's a list of professors in Europe. Here's a list of professors in the United States and Canada. So here's a list of professors working in Asia and Middle East and Asia Pacific. So we in tight connection with them try to make this establish this scientific diaspora around the world. So if you have any questions or some inquiries, just contact me. Also, other than that, what we're doing, we inviting those professors, very successful professors working in academia, some of them working in industry. As you can see, there's a list. Last month in August, we invited Dr. Dolian Adilbay. He's a medical doctor, assistant professor, medical doctor working in Medical University of South Carolina. And also we invited our best friend, Dr. Alia Sarmanova from Switzerland, working in Roche Diagnostics. And as you can see, we also have our professors. If you're interested, you can go to our website and learn their stories. So very briefly about our association. So our association is governed by a board of directors. So you can see this, our president, Serk Mirmanov, he's the vice president of Risimekan Asia Pacific University. Myself, Almjan, vice president, also administrator of this association. Juan Shiraliyev, he's a global affairs lead, former vice minister of science and higher education. Also, Janara Rambayeva from Narcos University, which mainly responsible for scientific grants, and our financial director, Elmira Davletova. And also we have our global ambassadors, our representatives in different countries, Northern Europe, United Kingdom, Canada, Hong Kong, Japan, and China. And yeah, so this month we've been honored to present our association on TEDx Astana. So our main message is we introduce this topic about brain drain, how to convert brain drain to brain flow or brain circulation. So what we're exactly building as a legacy here, global scientific diaspora of Kazakhstani scientists. So hopefully video will be available in couple weeks. And in this video, you will understand why why we leading this project as a Kazakh International Science and Technology Association, and what's our future vision. So briefly about vision. So it's to build global professional network of Kazakhstani scientists that collaborate, that they also mentor emerging talents and cultivate next generation of scientific leaders. Our mission is to unite and grow global Kazakh scientific community, and our goal is to use this platform in order to train, mentor our members, young members, in order to develop future scientific and academic leaders. So as you can see, over 10 years, we organized more than 40 plus events online and offline, and we have more than 1,000 Kazakhstani scientists around the world attended these events. And we also organize fellowship opportunities, so inviting fellowship organization that shares the opportunity with us, and we help already 9 members. And currently, we're working with Bolshak program, helping to introduce professors that working around the globe. So event we organize, as you know, this is a guest of honor seminar series. This is monthly. We invite different established scholars from different academical fields around the world, so they share their stories, various academical system discussions, so you can ask very talented professors. And second one is guest of honor TechTalk series. So today we have exactly TechTalk series. It's a monthly host very special guests who have successfully transitioned from academia to industry or launched their own tech startup. And we also have panel discussions. Like, for example, last year, in a situation of flood in Kazakhstan, we thought we need to do something. So we invited foreign from Netherlands and Kazakhstani local scientists in order to help and provide some recommendations. And last one, we had our fellowship and grant support program. So we introduce different programs. We invite organizations, as you know, this year, at the beginning of this year, Takeda Science Foundation, in order to introduce these very amazing programs to our community. And so previous what I told, it's mainly to our community around the globe. And second part is we have tight connection with Kazakhstani science community. So as you can see, there's a couple members, professors from our association, like Professor Murat Saparbayev, Professor Janibek Alpyshev, Serk Mirmanov. They're all in tight connection as a member of Accorda, National Council of Science and Technology. So pretty much in touch with what's happening in science in Kazakhstan. And it's very good tradition now every year. Mr. Sayasat Nurbek comes to our association, share opportunity, share vision, what's happening currently. And I think it's very good discussion, an amazing opportunity. I think other countries, I will doubt other countries has this kind of program. So, and we recently launched another seminar series, is Kazakhstan University Transformation Series, where we monthly invite presidents and leaders of Kazakhstani universities in order to find academic positions, or maybe potential collaboration. So last month we had a president of Narcos University, Anatol Rahmet, and hopefully next month we negotiating with Nazarbayev University. So we will keep you updated. So very important, our partnership with our partners, Bolshak program. So Bolshak program approached to us and asked assistance in order to help Kazakhstani scientists to contact with a foreign research institution. So as you know, we have a lot of professors working in different countries and different universities. So we sent a call, and within the 4 months, we already had more than 15 interviews with Kazakhstani scientists, and we already have successful 9 candidates which connected to UCL Department of Chemistry, Chinese Academy of Science, University of Calgary, Nottingham University, and University of Reading. Just yesterday, we finished 1 interview, and we successfully matched 1 candidate, Bolshak candidate, to have a short-term fellowship at University of Reading in a lab of Professor Vitaly Kutariansky. So if you're interested, if your PI or professor needs some hands, you can ask your PI, and if he agrees, you can contact with us so we can provide the list of candidates where we will have an interview with them. And if this candidate is very strong, you can select for your lab. And next one, what we're also doing, we have mentorship program with high school students, mentorship by PhD students. And this is also pilot program we're currently doing with 2 students. Hopefully, if we have enough capacity, we will expand this project. And a very important project, ongoing project, is HR Hub project. It's a very important project that we found the problem that a lot of Kazakhstani scientists, including PhD, postdoc, professors, that have a plan to return back to Kazakhstan, but they have a CV and they're just going to every university to submit their CV. I think that's taking a lot of time. So we thought about how about if we create one channel where you just throw your CV and all universities can collect and look at your CV. And if you're interested to that university and you matched with them, they can invite you for interview. And so this is a kind of easy way to connect with Kazakhstani local universities and international collaborative universities. So this is still ongoing. Hopefully, I hope we can launch this project at the end of this year. And yeah, so we also have these retreat programs. Last summer, we had our summer retreat program for PhD, postdoc professors, and industry experts in Bavarian Alps. Hopefully, we will have it every year. That was amazing. Yeah, and every month we have this very casual meeting of Science Latte, just picking up the relevant topics. And this is just a time for gather with our global community to discuss different topics. Yeah, and for upcoming events, hopefully this September we have last event next Tuesday with Dr. Ashat Aymagambetov. He's the chair of Parliament Committee, former Minister of Education and Science of Kazakhstan. So it will be so he will share with us how educational research policy is made in Kazakhstan. So I think it's very amazing opportunity, great speaker. So if you have time, we definitely recommend to attend this meeting. And we will give priority to our members and professors to ask your question. So next month we will have Vitaly Futariansky with his guest of honor seminar series on October 18. He will share his pathway, his lab. Yeah, his lab is huge, and I definitely recommend to visit his website and look what he's doing. Pretty amazing stuff. And at the end of October, we will have guests from Korea. So this is TechTalk series, working in industry. This is Ulambek Avishan. He's previously worked in academia, now it's R&D and research in Samsung Electronics. So this phones that you have in your hand, Samsung, he's doing this hardware. So yeah, pretty fascinating. And lastly, about our partners and sponsors. So we're partnering with Bolshak, Narcos University, QIST, Kazakhstan, and we're greatly thankful for our sponsor, Palm Project, which is supporting our initiative. So, and lastly, if you're not a member yet, please go to our website, fill the form, so we will know about you and you will be in our mailing list. The future vision, hopefully, within 5 years, we're looking not only to build Kazakhstani scientific community, but Eurasian Asia Science and Technology Association, including other countries as well. So we're working on this direction, and we hope next year to make this forum. Still in planning. Invite all Kazakhstani professors working abroad. Yeah, still in the planning stage. We will keep you updated if we have any progress on that. So with that, I want to talk about today our special guest. So as I said, I really appreciate your time. So Dr. Ainur Imangaliyeva, so she's with a 10 years experience of spanning academic research, startup leadership, and industrial R&D. Ainur now works in Production Scientist Chemist in Merck Life Science, Israel, where she continues to the production and development of advanced organic products. Beyond her industry role, she also leads online educational program. So so you can share your screen. Yeah. So she's also lead online educational program that empower their chemists to advance their career and master analytical techniques. So I think it's very amazing speaker that we have today. So you can listen about her pathway of international science, industry, and education. So shortly before we start, I just want to have a small, uh, yeah. Could you please, if it's possible, just turn on your camera and just say hi? And we want to know who is exactly joining and where you guys are joining from. Professor Kutariansky here as well. So guys, or you can just write in the chat. So we want to know who is joining today and where. So we have from UK, from Austria, from yeah, yeah, a lot of countries. So thank you very much for joining, yeah, guys. So Ainur, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ranjan. Thank you for your work of this association. You are doing great impact to Kazakhstani scientific environment and the students and the scientists. So let me start. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your time and participation. I tried to make this presentation valuable and use to make it inspirational. So today I want to reflect on a chemist career, the opportunities as a chemist we have, and the path we can take. My talk consists of two parts. First is my personal journey from academia to startup, then to industry, what I learned, what I can help, and what helped me. And second part, my few thoughts about entrepreneurship in chemistry. Because innovation and creating something new, I think it really brings us to a success, also financial success. So I had here, you can see my past. Actually, let me start from here. I was born in Aktobe Oblast, a small city, Kandagash, it's red, in 1991. A few years I lived there, Martuk region, strict region in village Andreevka, now it's Kizilzhar. So in 2008, I entered Al-Farabi Kazakh National University, majoring in chemical technology of inorganic substances. It's irony, yeah? I studied inorganic substances, but I'm organic chemist now. So during my PhD studies, I learned my first career lesson. It's if you don't choose your supervisor, the supervisor chooses you, and you can end up on working on the things which you don't enjoy. Therefore, it's important to be proactive and to choose laboratory as soon as possible because impact of a mentor is huge. And I studied all levels in Kazakh National University, bachelor's, master's, and the PhDs. And I, reflecting now, in retrospect, I consider it as a mistake because my development could have been more diverse and more efficient, and I can learn faster. At the end of my studies, I felt myself a little desperate and I was disappointed by my level because infrastructure in the university, I love Kazakh National University, yeah, it's my alma mater, but infrastructure is poor And at the end, I was working. I had a little experience, hands-on experience working on the instruments, different instruments. I knew UV visible spectrometer, knew a few other instruments, but most of the instruments were handled by the specialists. And for example, nuclear resonance spectroscopy was not available. I believe now it's still, and therefore I felt not ready. But I'm very grateful for person or people who made it possible to make internship during master's and PhD degrees. Thank you a lot, because thanks during master and PhD, I did a lot of internship in Israel. I was in Spain, where I could work by hands and learned how to interpret results better. It's Also, my main advice for today PhD students to do as many experiments as possible to learn to work on different chemical and analytical instruments, and also to teach. Because through teaching we can gain, through sharing we gaining, we understand the subject better. Teaching also helps. At the end, so here, at the end of my PhD degree at Kazakh National University, I started to intensively apply for postdoctoral positions in Israel. I sent a lot of cold emails to professors, most of which went unanswered. Eventually, I started to apply to Facebook groups, positions in the Facebook groups in Israel. There, I got the results, but I think what landed me to the interview is creative CV, which I read somewhere in Instagram or in the newspaper. One guy, he told, I think he's from Russia, he told that he got position in Max Planck Institute because he did GIF CV, like creative. So I decided to make a cartoon CV. I will show you now. It looks like cringe now a little bit, but I believe it landed me to this interview, which Lena, my professor in Vulcani Institute, she sent me, inviting me to the interview. I'm switching on.
Oh, I know this is amazing. Really, I really like it. Like instead of sending to CV, is making this video. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to be creative, that others, they will notice me. It's so big competition around the world, especially for Kazakhstanis. It's difficult to compete with Indians, with Americans, or British or European students. That's it. Thank you. Now I'm in Israel doing my postdoc research. During my postdoctoral research, I worked really hard to catch up things which I missed earlier. So I did a lot of experiments, learned how to work on different instruments, also learned how to repair instruments. And I realized how important to have right environment, to be around people smarter than you and more skilled than you. Because, for example, this Alexander, he helped me a lot to repair. He was very good with hands-on. In chemistry, it's important not only theory, it's important theory, yeah, but important also small details, working with hands. It's ученичество. It's a lot about ученичество. So And after 4 years in postdoc, I realized that becoming a PI was out of reach. And the competition was enormous. And even I got a good stipend, but it still was a stipend. And I didn't have any pension. I didn't have social benefits. I felt that I can make more money. So I decided to look for a job in industry or in startups. So if for postdoc, I found opportunities through Facebook. In case of industry or startups, I started to apply only in LinkedIn. So this raises a question. Question is like this: what is more important, technical knowledge or soft skills? What do you think? And after that, here a small test. I ask you to send answers ABC for this question, and here it will reveal a destiny, whether you belong to the sphere of academia, to the startups, or to the industry, corporation. Depends of the answer. If you suddenly become rich, what you do first? You will fund your research laboratory, or you will buy a house, then you buy a car, and you stop to worry, or you hire a team and will launch that crazy idea you always had. What will you choose?
Honestly, after the recent entrepreneurship workshop I had, C on my side.
Interesting, good. So I see C for sure. I believe C people who chose very ambitious and have a lot of energy because I started to hesitate recently. B, it's people of corporate who chose B. Corporate people, it's stability, but it's not stability now. I think no stability in everywhere. And the first, it's people of academy who chose. Let's check a second question. What is your favorite piece of lab equipment? It's coffee machine in department lunch, who likes to drink coffee, label printer, who uses often printer, or whiteboard and a marker, cheaper than a reactor.
Choose with the coffee.
Coffee addictors. People who chose C, it's startuppers. A, it's academia. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, mostly people chose C or A. Nobody likes printer. Printer, it's in corporates they use a lot to print, a lot of bureaucracy. So let's see next one and the last one. What is your work style motto? Perfection takes time, lots of time. Steady hands, steady plans. Done is better than perfect. Somebody's answered. Thank you, Aljan. C and A, C and A. C, it's a startup. A, academia. So it depends on the question. Some people answer like this, or like a startup. So let's continue. Okay, here you can see groups which I applied in Israel to find a postdoc. Also, I tried for startup and corporation, I applied in LinkedIn only. Also, I know that in ResearchGate, there are a lot of open positions, but I've never succeeded. Even I tried, but I never succeeded. It depends, I think, on the CV, your experience, on other things. So I come back to the question, what do you think? What is more important, soft skills or technical knowledge? What do you think? Thank you, Alejandro. Soft skills. It's my brother. I will add soft skills. He thinks, okay, answer is Technical skills are important by getting noticed by HR at the beginning, but soft skills will help you get hired and succeed at work. When HR checks your CV or resume, he looks at the skills, what you have, and just accept it or not. But later, when you meet with person, it's very important to have charisma, to hold yourself, to present yourself. My experience going through interviews got me to understand that sorry, I'm reading your messages, thank you. Got me to understand that it's important to be natural, to be sincere, and answer like openly. Maybe especially in Israel, it's a culture of openness, and people, they speak more direct, less hierarchy compared with Europe, maybe with Kazakhstan, because we have this вы на русском, and in Israel it's like you, ты, like more direct. So I failed most of the interviews. I failed, and I directly understood that I failed because you have this feeling that you could do better, you could answer properly better. So I will tell you questions what I got. So employer, he has a pain and he wants a pill, and pill is you. He wants to know, can you make it? Do you have enough experience? Do you have talent? Have you done it before? And this following questions they ask: do you know this method? Have you worked with catalysis? Do you know how to synthesize nanoparticles? Do you have experience of scale up? Why did you leave your previous job? To understand your soft skills. And what is your achievements? What things you are proud of? And what are your strengths and what is your weakness? And how do you see yourself in 5 years? So as you can see, that chemical principles, data analysis, problem solving, laboratory techniques are all of them, they are strong, technical knowledge, research skills, optimism, charisma, communication, it's soft skills. Following instrumental methods are important to have when you apply to different positions. As organic chemist, they noticed that I wrote that I know how to synthesize using Schlenk line. I know purification methods, distillation, crystallization, thin layer chromatography, and they looked at I know the method of nuclear magnetic resonance, proton and carbon method of this magnetic resonance. Many analytical labs, they demand for HPLC experts or gas chromatography. UV visible spectroscopy also for analytical chemistry. Here, I don't speak about electronics, or I don't speak about let's say, batteries, for people who are making batteries. So R&D chemist depends if it's material science, it needs differential scanning, calorimetry, IR spectroscopy, it's a basic. A lot of people in rare metal or working with clay materials, crystallic materials, they need an X-ray diffraction expert. In formulation chemistry, it's a lot important colloid chemistry, making pharmacy, in pharmacology, in the cosmetic industry. And so you can see that these methods are important to be competitive in the market. HR, after I had an interview at Merck, at the beginning technical interview, they asked me, they gave me a spectrum, NMR spectra of the organic compound, and they told me, what is that compound? Like, can you found out? It was like technical questions. Then they give me IR spectrum. They said, which functional groups do you see in this material? Then they asked, did you work with column? Do you know how to do column chromatography? Do you know to purify by distillation? What is your previous experience? And after that, I had an HR meeting where I was checked if I am adequate, if I am easy to work with. What I wanted to add, language is important. Most of the interviews I had in English, but as you can see, I got this message from the laboratory head of Merck in Hebrew, and I had an interview with HR also in Hebrew. But most of them previously I got in English. But strong knowledge of the language where you based is important. For example, I got invitation from the Tel Aviv University to read the lectures on material science for first degree students, but I couldn't make it because my level of Hebrew was not sufficient enough. That's it. This I wanted to say. It's important to be active and to be bold. Recently, I've got a message from Julia. I don't know her, but she is brave, and I think it's correct way to offer if there are available vacant open position at my company. And she sent me her CV in case if it will be open, I will recommend her. Because at Merck, we have bonuses if we recommend someone and he will come or she will come and will succeed at job, we will get money. Or I also, okay, also I can, I recommended my ex-colleague from other lab to apply to the production scientist role at Rehovot. If he likes it, to choose me as a reference. So it's important to be brave and to write by yourself. Also, it's important to help others to succeed. Now I want to move the focus. Can you tell me what is a common traits, what is similar among these people? Do you know them? Mm-hmm. So, Benjer is my idol. Good. They are all startuppers. They are all billionaires and entrepreneurs. Yeah, exactly. You're right. So I want to start the topic about startups. So my first job after academia was a startup. Don't look at Intel because my employee here, he was a contractor of Intel. Most of the time I spent at Intel in Israel, Kiryat Gat. So working in startup has a lot of advantages, as you can see how to build a business, especially when you start at early stages. High salaries, not in my case, but usually startups pay a higher salary for the because it's a lot of has also disadvantages as overload, kind of chaos, not built systems, stress, instability. 90% of the startups, they get closed. So pluses and minuses. I'd like to show you, to explain a little bit what is startups and what's the difference between usual business. Startups, it's an early stage company. Usually they're innovative and has more risk. Usual businesses, they have a known business model, they have known product and less innovation. It also has a risk, but less than in startup. Also, funding is different. Startups, they get money from the angel capitalists, from the venture capitalists, from grants of your country where you're based, or maybe foreign countries, incubators, and the usual business. Also in startup, you need to use your personal savings. In usual business, you take loans or your personal savings. And I want to show you, I recommend you articles of Paul Graham in the website of Y Combinator. He speaks a lot about how he thinks that there are two important things in startups. First is an idea, and second, your co-founder. And to find an idea, it's the most important. It's so difficult to find a good idea. And he says that it's important to become an expert, to be conscious on what you are working at, to document everything what you do, to understand everything what you do, and to think every job you had, every internship, every conference, every article, and to process it and to look for a problem. Solving a problem will bring an idea. And work, of course, with smart, ambitious people, to surround yourself with conscious notice problems, not to waste time on just stupid things, because we have limited amount of time. We provide 40 hours a week minimum. I think most of the people more to our major job. And on weekends, he advised, also in the evenings after work, he advised to work on interesting projects or to study, to improve yourself, additional topics on the border of your main topic. Here, I want to show you a few examples of startups which are now funded by HAX company, tech company, hard tech company. This user-friendly lab robots for life scientists. This guy, Chiu Chao, he used to work in startup of working with 3D printing. He was interested and he started to learn by himself. He bought few 3D printers and he found out that repairing motherboards of 3D printers, it's costly. It costs more than $10,000 bill he got. Therefore, he decided to create his own DIY, do it by yourself robots, liquid handling robots. And this project led him to open Opentrons, which is robots making life science analysis, which makes life easier for chemists and they can focus on the more difficult things. And second example, it's about Muhammad Farahani. He had an internship in the factory, in the big factory where he saw distillation and he saw how huge amount of energy, thermal energy needs to make a distillation of crude oil to different fractions. As you know, it's gasoline, naphthalene, bitumen, kerosene, diesel, and because now there are problem of greenhouse gases with carbon dioxide, he decided to use membrane, different kind of membrane with different size, pore size, which can differentiate different types of fractions, and created his SEP Pure startup. Yeah, this I wanted to add. Here, I present you current, in my opinion, it's small, maybe it's not enough. There are much more problems which needs to solve. And what I understood, most of the problems working on this carbon dioxide capturing or using as carbon dioxide as an initial material to create biofuel or biopolymers. Another topic is about recycling of, for example, catalysts, creating different construction of catalysts that it will be easy to recycle because it contains palladium, platinum, the rare metals. Also about projects to create robots to make chemical reactions. I believe in the future, it will be thanks by help of artificial intelligence and robotics. It will be special laboratories where everyone, being, for example, Alamjan in Germany, I am in Israel, Aybulat in Kazakhstan, you can use only one laboratory and to make different kind of experiments and to compare, use the same platform where we can share protocols and to be more, to have more time for ourselves as researchers. Of course, but hydrogen technologies are important about recycling plastic or kind of compounds which are not recycling now. We are not recycling a lot. Extraction of lithium or metals which are rare. Methods of creating electronics with green materials like cellulose. Also, I think in organic chemistry, what I see, it's from my experience, we use a lot of solvents. So creation of synthesis methods which use as less solvents as possible, especially chlorinated solvents are very problematic. That's why using ionic liquids or supercritical fluid extraction methods, such a methods. So I will read your messages, sorry. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you. Thank you a lot. I think it's the end of my presentation. I just wanted to add, as a chemist, we should look at ourselves not just as employees. We should look at ourselves as a like entrepreneurship, like to look at ourselves. Do we doing a meaningful job? Because I came to the idea that meaning of the job impact what we make is very important. It's more important than money what we earn. So to look ourselves as a businessman, businesswoman, each of us, and to think as a scientist and together, like scientist entrepreneurship. Thank you for your attention.
Ainur, really appreciate, I think one of the best presentation, sharing your pathway, starting from your PhD and later traveled all the way to Israel. I think that really, and after that, after your PhD, getting your pathway to industry. And I really appreciate your presentation. Very insightful, a lot of recommendation, technical terms as well. And also you even shared your ideas that you want to realize, but unfortunately, maybe due to some reasons, you don't have time. And thank you, Ainur, again. So now we're heading to Q&A session. So today we have actually a lot of people from Germany, from Finland, from Korea, and let's start. Yeah. So I will invite people to ask a question one by one. So if you have any question, please raise your hand. So Diana, go ahead. So Diana joining from Germany, Göttingen. So Diana has also working in industry, one of our best friends. Diana, go ahead.
Hi, Ainur. And hi to everyone as well. I was actually curious, like, because like you also mentioned like that the industry is actually right now like pretty challenging. And in that sense, like, how is the chemistry industry doing? You know, like, because I know like the difficulties right now in our like biological industry. I'm myself coming from regenerative biology, so with stem cells and the cell therapy right now. Like basically the research as well as in pharma overall, like quite dropping drastically, like especially as well, like if we're cross comparing the different big pharmas, for example, Novo Nordics, etc., how it's going on the chemical industry in that sense.
Thank you for your question, Diana. Nice to meet you. And
as well.
Yeah, I'm always monitoring job market in Israel mostly, and I see it's big decrease in new job opens in Israel in chemistry. But what I noticed, biology has more opportunities. Biologists have more opportunities than chemists. Or I feel like that because somehow now there are rise of biotech startup companies, and they're looking for biologists working in cells. Also at Merck, we have a lot of, not a lot, but open positions working on fermentation or biological things. So less in chemistry. Also R&D chemistry also, it's more difficult to find job in R&D nowadays. Therefore, I'm working in production. It's during production, I'm also doing R&D, but my job is connected, main focus on production. So it's kind of now a not very hype period.
I feel you in that regards because like I could relate in the sense of production I would say maybe we're a bit like spoiled because the amount of the jobs were like quite bigger. And right now, like in the competitive market, there are a way higher amount of a labor force comparing to offered positions rather. And then, like because everyone are like quite competitive for the PGs and so on, like it's quite right now, like, kind of high quality of a labor versus the cheap salaries, let's call it this way. So like market, the curve at least a bit shifted. And then there are quite huge cuts, like unfortunately. I mean, that would kind of relate in that sense. Then it means that actually for chemists it's like way worse. Like that's for biologists, like it's way more challenging because in our company, like I faced was the thing that we actually the revenue-based company was the chem-based company, and rather it's a cell therapeutics because we're very expensive. We're kind of like under the question right now. So like I was like, interesting, because like I was like maybe like rather biologics, like and rather like chemical based substances right now are like, pumping, like as more like maybe, something that would save the money. I was really curious about this part actually. Yeah, nice. Thank you so much for the fun answer.
Yeah, thank you, Diana. Rahmet, Diana. So anyone else? Wali Khan, please go ahead. You can, if you want, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello. So
Yeah.
the question is, how do you plan to start your own startup, or you plan to be in a team or in a startup team? And the second question is, what obstacles do you face when, even though the innovation ecosystem in Israel is well developed?
Yeah, this is very good question. Very good question. I ask these questions to myself, to be honest. And of course, being founder, it's better, I think, because working in a startup, it's challenging. Even you don't know it will succeed or not. If you believe in that company, you'd like to be early stage or get a lot of options as you can. And especially in chemistry, it's more difficult than in, for example, IT. They are like faster. So what obstacles? A lot of obstacles it can be. Most of the nowadays, I think, like I look at my previous boss, he had his usual business, which funded his business, his startup ID. Therefore, I believe it needs to create a revenue making company or something which will bring constant money, or to work in a good company which to earn a lot of salary and then simultaneously to build your startup. Otherwise, there are no time or will not be good opportunities. You need to go to not to wait opportunities to go despite the difficulties. I listen a lot of Americans, they are very good in this. And what they speak about, they say you need to work and in the weekends you need to develop your startup. In the evenings to develop your startup. And after that to leave and to try. More, they speak that working in usual company, it's not stable anymore. At each minute you can lose a job. So it's more important to be entrepreneurship than to be an employee.
Ainur, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your question. Anyone else? If you have any question, go ahead, unmute yourself and ask. If not, I have a question. Ainur, so you work now several years in Merck, and what's your future plans? Maybe 5 to 10 years. I think you already had a taste of startup field. You already had taste in academia as a postdoc, and you're working currently in industry. So what's the overall feeling and where you plan to move? Thank you.
Thank you, Ramjan. Also, great question. I work in Merck 1 year, and during 1 year, I learned a lot. Before, in previous startup, I was manager, like head of R&D, very good title, but I sacrificed my title to went lower. I felt that it's more important to have skills and to learn. And now I'm learning a lot, especially in organic synthesis, multi-step organic synthesis, in the mechanisms and how to purificate. It's in such a big domain. And what I'm gaining now, I'm gaining knowledge and expertise in that. And I'm trying to share during my way working there, share with others, other chemists, what I'm learning, that I can pay attention. Maybe I'm missing something, because during teaching, I'm also learning. So I offer, advise everyone to share or to teach someone, not for free, but always to try to be mentor, that you will gain more. It will bring you more. Financially, also through the knowledge. Yeah. I don't know what I will do in 5 years, but my now target is to learn and to do a lot of synthesis and understand mechanism of synthesis.
And about career growing in Merck, how the system, is it like pretty much clear, like what kind of KPI you need to do in order to get, let's say, promotion within the company? How do you feel after staying 1 year?
It's a great question. I also ask myself, I look at my colleagues and I see my bosses, my N+1, N+2, and I look at them, they get promoted after 10 years, 8 years. But previously they went to do internship, not to internship, like to work, to be kind of head of the lab in US or in Germany. And they worked there and they came back and they grow in Israel. Like you need to change your maybe base and to prove. They look at KPI, they look at how you improve the process. Do you create the methods which use less solvents, or do you, for example, you have 10-step synthesis, can you make it 5-step? This is very much improves your growth.
So to say, just help the company to save the money. So another one is, what was my question? Yeah, if anyone else has a question, please go ahead. I forgot my question. Let's do last 2 questions. So if anyone has a question, please. Yeah, and now I recall it. So I know also you had a PhD, you did a postdoc, and how it helped you within company or within, let's say in a frame of salary. So do you see the difference? A person don't have PhD and have PhD and postdoc. Is there any difference within the company how people, let's say, how leaders work with you and in terms of salary differences? Can you more elaborate about on this part? Thank you.
Thank you. Very good question. Only good questions. We don't speak usually about salaries, so I don't know exactly what my colleagues are earning. Do we earn the same or higher? But definitely I feel positive feedback or positivity because I have a PhD degree. It's important because PhD plays a role. Many people, they say, okay, PhD maybe don't need, directly go. But if you are good PhD and you learn a lot, you understand what you did during PhD, it appreciated. And really, they are like, wow, PhD. They respect you more. They listen you better. Like, it's important. Salary, I don't know exactly how much they earn more, but they pay attention to PhD degree, definitely.
And yeah, maybe last question. So I think we all living in different countries, and excluding like United States, Canada, Australia, as a, let's say, more tolerable and more more diverse. But like countries like Germany, Israel, and other countries as well, they like you need to learn language in order to mix with the community, in order to get promotion. How's your personal feeling like working locally with, let's say, Middle East people? What's the things that you learned, like tricks in order to deal with these people. Because I personally, from my experience, I'm like working in Germany, and now I know how to work with them. Like efficiency, efficiency, just a joke. And what's your feeling? How you dealing with local people? Thank you. Any tips, recommendations that you help you a lot? Thank you.
Thank you. Great question. In Israel, it's very English-friendly country. They like to speak English, and if you live in Israel and you don't speak Hebrew, you will survive. Even just if you know Russian, you also will survive. Here, a big community, Russian-speaking community. If population of Israel 10 million, more than maybe 1.5 million, they are Russian speakers. So as many languages do you speak, it will help you. In Israel, big community, French speakers, a lot of Jewish people came from Uruguay, Brazil, Argentina, Spanish speakers, Russian speakers a lot. So it's quite diverse in a cultural thing. So yeah, and I didn't feel, I felt I'm learning very good Hebrew. I'm trying to learn to succeed, because it's important if you want to promote yourself to be a head of the lab. But if you just usual worker, like not so ambitious, it's English, it's okay. Even Russian, English, it's okay, better, yeah, than just Russian, yeah.
Thank you, Ainur. And let's do last question. So this will be last. Yeah, what Khan said, like perhaps working as an advisor in a startup could help in new direction. But so what's your vision about collaboration on this? Like working as an advisor in a startup to open a new field, open new direction to, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to be working as a consultant. It increases vision. Yeah, there is a website, Upwork. There you can register and to show yourself as a consultant. I think during PhD you can do it. And there are other chemists, owners of businesses. They are looking for advisors, consultants. So there it's possible. I'm positively looking at this. But most of the owners of startup, they are kind of afraid to lose control, or NDA. They want suspiciously look at this. But I think more difficult to execute than to have ID. Most difficult. There are even deficiency of people, working people who will execute the ID.
Thank you very much, Ainur. Thank you for your time. Thank everyone for joining. So it was a great session, and we had Ainur's talk. Really appreciate. So Ainur, I really appreciate what you're doing here. Always, I'm following you. I know you're always helping to our all people from Kazakhstan in order to get some opportunities, learn some techniques, and provide them some kind of way to work in industry. So what we're doing here, and I know you as well, we're developing new leaders of in science and industry. So I really appreciate what you're doing. So for today, thank everyone for joining today's session. Guests of Honor Tech Talk series. We had amazing guests, and hope you will have a good weekend. So thanks for joining. We will save this. Yeah, we will save this recording. And I know if you want to say something, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to launch soon a course of instrumental method of analysis, where I invited my colleagues from Merck to read lectures on nuclear magnetic resonance in the chemical methods of analysis. They are like I'm gaining from them. So I think not only me should gain. So I will soon launch in my Instagram. Please join. If you are chemists looking for expertise, like to study methods, I will be happy to help. So
yeah, follow Ainur on Instagram, LinkedIn. So guys, we will keep in touch. Next month we have an amazing speakers, and also next week. So see you again. Bye guys. Have a good weekend.